So let's talk a little bit about the technology at play in the crash, or that was not at play in the crash. I've heard a lot about positive train control. Robert, could you tell us what that is? And perhaps, Jim, you could tell us a little bit about some of the funding for that, or what it would take to make that happen.
I think you've probably been following it more closely. But it's essentially, it's safety devices that are on both the train and on the railway infrastructure that talk to one another. And it monitors the train, this is just simple terms, it monitors the train to make sure that it's operating in safe speeds and can take over when it determines those speeds are not either too fast or when things are going in the wrong direction.
And so we were planning to actually roll out positive train control in this section of the track, but we haven't done that yet. And is part of that a funding issue, or is it just sort of, getting up to speed in terms of the technology in the area?
So in the short term, positive train control was mandated by Congress after the Metrolink accident outside LA in 2008. Amtrak has been working diligently, and from what I understand, there really wouldn't have been, and it was unfunded mandated, I should say, there wasn't any additional money appropriated for that, but there really wasn't anything they could have done to speed it up and get it here quicker. And they are on pace to meet the deadline, which is at the end of the year. That said, if we had a much larger budget, you hire more engineers. If you have that budget, a much larger budget a couple of years ago, they would be looking into implementing this technology without the congressional mandate. It's really, when you talk about trains and infrastructure and things like that, you have to think about the long-term vision. The answer is yes and no, but I really think that money could have helped here in the long term.